Hello everyone, welcome to my video on our interactive Python Tkinter project. In this video, we will write a program for car rental management system using MySQL database to manipulate our data. Okay, so first you should install MySQL. If you have installed, then it's good. Otherwise, I will provide the link of a video that will help you to install and set up MySQL database. Okay, now let us open Workbench. So here I will search Workbench. This is my SQL Workbench. I will open it, and after a small while when it is opened, then I will click right here local instance. Okay, so I will click here, and then here I have to enter my password. So I will enter my password, and then I will click OK. So next, here you can create new database by using this query: create database, and you can provide any name for database, for example DB. Okay, but I have created a database already, so I will contact with that database. Okay, now if you have already created database, then you have to connect with that database. Okay, so here you can see this database option. You will click here, and then you will choose this first option, connect to database. Okay, and here you will provide the name of your before created database, and name of my database is rec. Okay, if you have not created this database, then you should use create database and then name of any database, and then you have to execute the query, and in this way your database will be created. Okay, so next, here I have to connect with this database. So this is rec database, I mean record. Okay, and then I will click OK. So now here you can see my database is connected successfully. Now I have to create a table inside my database. Okay, so I will use query create. Okay, and table. I have to create table with name car system or only car. Okay, create table car, and here I have to create some columns for this table. Okay, so first should registration number, second should company or car. Okay, and third should rent. Okay, and fourth should this was rent, and status. Okay, status. Now I have to provide types of these columns. In fact, these are our columns. Okay, registration number, so it will integer type. Okay, int, and I will provide the size. So I will provide size 10, and this should primary key. Okay, and next, this is car, car name or company name. Okay, so it should varchar, because it is a string type, and then I will provide size. Okay, so 10 size, and rent. Okay, rent should integer type int. Okay, and I will provide the size 10. Okay, and status, I mean that it is available or not. So you can set it boolean type, but I will set it var char. Okay, and then I will provide the size only 5 or 8. Okay, and now in this way we will able to create our table with columns: registration number, that is a primary key, and company name or car name with type varchar, and then rent integer type, and then status, that is the car available or reserved. Okay, now I will execute the query by clicking this button, and here this is created successfully. Okay, so now it is created successfully, and now I have to insert some values in this table. Okay, so here I will run query insert. Okay, into, and into car, and now I have to insert in registration number. Okay, and then I have to insert value in our car, and then I have to insert rent per day for this car. And sorry, these are, yes, these are column name, rent and status, these are column names. And now I have to insert values. Okay, now I will insert values. So first is our uh, registration number. I will provide 1 2 3 4. Okay, and then this is car name, so I will use comma, and first is Corolla. Okay, Corolla, and then I will use another column, sorry, comma, and then I will use another uh, value for car, that is rent, and I will enter 2000 for Corolla, and then I will set the status, that is avail. Okay, so for this time this is avail. Okay, and in this way we have inserted successfully. I will use semicolon, and sorry, here I have to use an other comma. Okay, now I will execute this query. First I will select it, and then I will execute. So now values are inserted successfully. Now one row is created successfully. Okay, now I will change the registration number. Okay, 2345, and then this should Honda. I will change company name. This is Honda, and I will set 3000 rand, and this is also available. Okay, so I will select this query, and then I will execute it. Okay, now one more row is inserted successfully in our car table of rec database. Okay, and next I have to change values. For example, I will set 3 4 5 and 6. So this is registration number, and we have set it primary key. Okay, so this should unique, and company name Suzuki, I will change Suzuki, and I will set rent 1500 per day, and its status should available. Okay, so I will select the query and execute it. Now one more row is added successfully. Now I will change value once again, 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, and now I will set company name. You can add any company. I will add BMW. Okay, and then I will set 4000. I will set here for I or 5000. Okay, so now status is avail. So all cars are available. Okay, so I will execute the query, and now one more row is added successfully. Now we have inserted 4 cars with their registration number, their per day rent, and their status. Okay, so now we will use this database and table. Okay, so now uh, we will start our Python code. So first you have to create any folder with any name and anywhere in your computer. So I have created with the name Python Projects. I will open it, and here I have to open command prompt. So here I will select this search bar, and here or address bar. Here I will enter CMD for open command prompt, and now this is our command prompt, and now I have to open VS Code Studio. Okay, so here I have to uh, enter a command, that is code space dot. Okay, and I will click enter key, and after a small while, here you can see this is our VS Code. Okay, so now we have to create a new file. So I will click here Explorer. Okay, I will click here, and here you can see some files, account.python and bank.python, but these are existing files. and now I have to create new file. Here you can see this option, new file. Okay, I will click here, and now I will provide any name to my project. So this is car rental management system. So here I will add car. Okay, car dot py. This is extension for Python. Okay, and I will click enter key, and here you can see this new file is created in our Python projects folders. Okay, so I will close this welcome, and I will hide it too. Okay, so now I have to create a class. Okay, so here I am creating a class with name car. Okay, and then I have to define a constructor. Okay, def, and here I have to define a constructor init. Okay, and then here I have to pass two arguments. One is self and other is root. Okay, now we have to initialize this root, self dot root. Okay, and we have to initialize it with root. Okay, so now we have to create a project, sorry, object, not project. So we have to create object. Okay, so now this is root, and here tk dot tk. So this is for Tkinter, and here you can see this is an error because we have not imported this Tkinter. Okay, now we have to import it. So here I will type import Tkinter as tk. Okay, so this is alias. You can use any other alias, but I am using tk. Now you can see our error was removed. Okay, so now this is tk dot tk. Okay, and next I have to create an object with name obj. You can use any other name. Okay, and then here I will use class name, that is car. Okay, and I will pass root as argument. Okay, and now I will access main loop, root dot main loop is used to manipulate all the events. Okay, or it is used to handle all the events in our project. Okay, so now first I have to set a title for my project. So here I will set self dot root. Okay, dot title, and here I will give a title, that is car rental management system. Okay, so this is our title, and then I will save it, and now I want to execute it to show you an output. So here, if we have no problem, and surely we have no any problem, so this is our output. Okay, so here you can see this is our user interface, but its size is very small. Okay, so we will set it according to the size of our screen. Okay, so I will close it, and I will close the terminal, and now because I have to set this user interface according to the height and width of our screen. So first I have to get the width and height of screen. So how can we get? I will declare a variable with self dot. Here you can give any name to your variable. So this is will a global variable. Okay, self dot width. Okay, self dot width. So this is variable, and now we have to get width of our screen. Okay, self dot root dot w info. Okay, what is w info? This is method that returns us uh, information about a widget. Okay, so now we have to get information about our screen width. Okay, screen width, and then uh, this value will be gotten using this method, and then we will assign this value to this variable. Okay, that is self dot width. Because I have to use this variable in many functions, that's why I am using self dot with it. If you have not to use it anywhere else, then you should use only with. Okay, then you do not need for this self. Okay, but I have to use it in other functions. That's why I am using this self. Okay, so now I have to get self, sorry, uh, height. So self dot height. Okay, this is our variable, and now I have to get a height of my screen. Self dot root dot w info, and we have to get info of screen height. Okay, so in this way we are getting screen width and screen height, and then we are assigning this width to this variable and height to this height variable. Okay, so next I have to set the size, okay, of our user interface window. So here I will use self dot root, okay, dot geometry, and here I will use formatted string. So I will use F, and now I have to set width first. So here I will use pair of curly braces. Okay, so it can carry a value of variables. Okay, so this formatted string is used to carry both string value and variable value. Okay, so now we are getting or using here the value of a variable, that is self, okay, dot width. So in this way we are getting width, and we will multiply it with height. Okay, so I will use once again pair of curly braces, self dot height. Okay, and then we will use plus 0 to start from first row, and 0 start from first column. Okay, so now I will save it, and then I will execute it once again, and now you can see this is our output. Now our this user interface is according to the size of our screen size. Okay, so I will close it. Okay, and then I have to set a label for title. Okay, because you have seen that we have no any label in our user interface window or root window. I will close the terminal. Okay, and next if you want, then I can increase the size. Okay, yes, this is perfect. Now I have to set a title. Okay, so this is our title label. Okay, so this is our variable, and now tk dot label. Okay, because we have to use a label to set a title. Okay, so here I will create it in our root self dot root. Okay, because we have to create this label or title in our root window, that's why I am using here self dot root. Okay, now I have to set text. Okay, so this is our car rental management. Okay, and then I can use also system, and next I have to set background color. So here I will use bg property. Okay, and I will set color light green. Okay, and then I will use comma to separate it. Okay, and then this is background color. Now I will set foreground color. So fg property is used to set foreground property, I mean font color. Okay, so here I will set value. You can use any value, and I am using red. Okay, and next I have to set border. So here I will use bd or border property. So here you can see both properties, bd and border. I will use bd, and I will give value 4. Okay, and now I will set a style for this border by using relief property, and here I will set style for border flat, groove, raised, and others, and I will set this reading. Okay, and then here I have to set font style by using font property. Okay, and here I will pass values in tuple. Okay, so here I will pass values in tuple That's why I am using pair of parentheses. Okay, so here I have to set style, that is Arial. You can use different uh, font family. Okay, and then I will set the size of fonts. So here I will use 50, and then I will set it bold. Okay, and then I have to place it. So here I will use title dot pack. Okay, so here I have to use pack property to set its side. Okay, and here I will use side property, and I will set it in top. Okay, so here I will use top. Now I will save it with Control plus S, and then I will execute the project, and in output you can see car rental management system, but you can see that width of this label widget is not full. Okay, and we have to set it in our x-axis or horizontally. So how can we set it horizontally? Okay, or I can say that we can fill it in x-axis by using fill property. Okay, and we have to fill it in x-axis. Okay, so here I will use x, and now I will save it, and then I will execute it once again, and now you can see that is filled in x-axis or horizontally. Okay, now we have to create some frames. Okay, so here I will create a frame. So here this is our main frame. Okay, main frame, and then, or you can say menu frame. Now I have to use tk dot frame. Okay, so this is widget name that is part of Tkinter. Okay, so here I am using tk dot frame. Now I have to create a frame in our root. Okay, self dot root. So in this way we are creating this frame in root window, and next I have to set background color bg, and property is used. So here I will give value. So this was yellow, and now I will use light gray. Okay, light gray, and I will set border by using bd property. I will set 4, and then I will use relief property, and here I have to set style of border. I will use groove. Okay, you can use any other, but I am using this one. Okay, so next I have to set its position. So here I will use main frame dot place method. Okay, so this method is used to set the positions of this frame or widgets. Okay, you can use this place method with different widgets. Okay, like buttons, input fields, and extra. So main frame dot place. Now we have to set its width by using width property. So I have to set half of total size. Okay, total size of our screen. Okay, so here I will use this variable. Okay, this self dot width. So here I will use self dot width because it contains total width of my screen. Now I have to create this frame with half width of my screen. Okay, so here I will divide it with 2. Okay, and then I will set height. Okay, now I have to set height. So first I will get total size of my screen. So here self self dot height is a variable that contains total height of my screen. Okay, and now I have to minus some value, for example 180. Okay, so this 180 pixel is less than total size. Okay, so now I have to set x-axis. Okay, so I will give value 20. Okay, so this is in fact padding in x-axis, and then I will use y-axis, okay, and here I will give value 100, okay. So this is padding in our x-axis, and this is padding in our y-axis or vertically. Now I will save it and then I will execute it, and now you can see this is our frame, okay. Now you can see this is its padding in y-axis, and this is padding along with x-axis, okay. So I think this size is very large. I can decrease the size of this frame, so I will close it, and now I will divide it with 3, okay. So it will divide a screen in 3 parts, okay, and then it will provide us a one part from 3 parts, okay. So I will save it and then I will execute it once again, and if it is executed, now you can see its size was decreased and we have set it in left side, okay. So you can uh, fit the size according to screen, okay. Now you can see correctly this is our x-axis or padding in x-axis, and this is padding in y-axis. So this is our main frame. Now we have to create some buttons in our this main frame, okay. So I will close it. Now I will close the terminal, okay. Now I have to create some buttons, okay. So now first I have to create a button to reserve a car, then a button to return a car, and then a button to cancel or close the project or user interface window, okay. So now here I have to create a button for reserve car, okay. Reserve, sorry, reserve button, okay. Reserve button, and then we will create a button by using tk dot button, okay. And then we have to create this button in our main frame, okay. Now we have to use this main frame, not root frame, okay. So here we have to use main frame, okay. So this will be created in our main frame, and then here I have to set text for button. So I will set text reserve, sorry, reserve car, okay. And then I have to set background color of this button, okay. So here I will use bg, okay. Here you can see this is bg property, and I will give value sky blue. You can use different colors. I am using sky blue for button, and then I will set foreground color, okay, fg, and I will give value black, okay, black, and then I will use border, okay, bd, and I will give value 2, and then I will set relief property, and then I will give value raised, okay. Here I will use raised. This is our first button, okay, that will be created in our main frame, okay. Now we have to set its place or position. So here I will go to next line, and here I will use reserve button dot grid, okay. So what is grid? Grid is a layout, okay. So we are using grid layout. You can use different layouts, but grid layout is best. So here we have to set padding, okay. So here I will use pad x. So this is padding for x axis, and I will give value 40, okay. And then I will use pad y, and I will give value 50, okay. And then I will set sorry, I have to set the width of this button. So here I can set width, okay, width, and here I will give value 10, okay. And here I have to set font style, okay, by using font property, and I will pass values in tuple, So font family is Arial, and I will set value 20. Okay, and I will not set it bold. Okay, so now I will save it, and then I will execute it. Okay, and here you can see this is our button reserve car, but its size is very small, so I will increase its width. Okay, so I will close this, and now I will set width. So first was 10, now I will set 18. Okay, you can set according to your requirement. So this one button was created successfully. Now I have to create one more button. Okay, so for this I will copy this existing button, control C, and now I will paste it to next line. Okay, and here I will change the name of this button. So this is a return button. Okay, return, and this is also return button, return. Okay, so now I have to change the text. Okay, so here I will change this reserve with, sorry, I have to replace it with return. Okay, return car, and here I should use row number and column number. Okay, because we are using grid layout, and here we can set it in its rows and columns. Okay, so first button will be created in our first row. Okay, and in our first column. So here I will use column, and then I will give value 0. Okay, and also here I will change it, and now I will use row. Okay, and I will set row number 1, I mean second row, but column number will first. Okay, and next I have changed this is return car, and other values will remain same. Okay, and this is our return button, and next I have to use uh, I will paste it first. Okay, and then this is our close button. Okay, to close our user interface, close button, and this is also our close button, so I will replace it close button. Okay, and it will be created in our mainframe, and I will change the text value. Okay, close project. Okay, close project or close window, close window. So now I have to change, sorry, here I have to set its row number. Okay, so it will be created in third row and first column. Okay, now I will save it, and then I will execute the project, and in output you can see these are our buttons. This is reserve button, reserve car button, return car, and this is close window. Okay, when we will click it, then this user interface will be closed. Okay, so now I can increase width of these buttons. I will set 20 instead of 18. Okay, so I will change it, and here where was our width, here I will give value 20. Okay, so this is 20, this will also 20, and this last one will also 20. Okay, so these were our three buttons. I will increase value pad by value of first button only. Okay, so I will set 60. So now we have created these three buttons. Okay, so here I should use self with this mainframe, because we have to use it in other functions. Okay, self dot mainframe, and this is also self dot mainframe, and here I have to use self dot mainframe, and also here I will use self dot mainframe, okay, and here also I will use self dot main frame. Now I will create a function, okay. So here by using this def keyword I will create close window, okay, close window. So this is function name. I will use self as a parameter, okay. Now I have to close our root window, self dot root dot destroy, okay. I will save it and then I will execute it, okay. So now sorry, I have to use command property, okay. So here we have to call this function when close button will be clicked, okay. So here I will use command property and here I will call self dot close window, okay, and I will use comma. Now I will save it and then I will execute it once again, and now what will happen if I will click close window. Now you can see our root window was closed, okay. So now I will close the terminal and now I have to make functional these two buttons, but first now I have to show a list of available cars, okay. So here I will create one more frame, okay. So previous was main frame, now this is show frame, okay, because we have to show cars, okay. Self dot show, okay. So this is show frame and then we have to create a frame that will be created with tk dot frame, okay, and then we have to create it in our root window, self dot root, and then we will set its background color. So here I will use bg property, okay. So this is our bg property and I will give value gray, okay. So here I will use gray. This is our frame background color, or I can set light gray, okay. I will set light gray and then I will use a border, okay, by using bd property and I will give value 4 and I will set border style by using relief property and here I will use groove, okay. Now we have to set the position of this show frame, okay. Self dot show frame, okay, dot place. Here I have to use place method, okay. And now first I have to use width method, okay, to get width of this frame or widget. Now I will set same width, okay. So width was self dot width and we will divide it with 3, okay. So in this way width of this frame will same as a frame of this main frame, okay. So it will same as width of this main frame, okay. So now here I am using width 3, okay, and then I have to set the position, okay. But first I will get height, okay. Here I will use height and here I will use self dot height minus 180, okay. So in this way we are getting or setting a height, sorry, first width of this new created frame and then height of this new created frame, okay. So now we have to set the position. So here I will use x, okay, for x axis. So I have to provide value. So here I will use self dot width, okay. This is variable and we will divide it by 3, okay. So in this way we are creating a padding, okay, and then I will use y, okay, and then sorry, this is y and here I will provide value 100, okay. And now I will save it and then I will execute it once again. Now you can see this is our new created frame, but it is very close to this main frame. Now we have to give a space among these two frames. Okay, so here we can use width multiplied by 3 plus 50. Okay, now I will save it and then I will execute it once again, and now you can see that there is a gap between these two frames. Okay, so now we can also set them in the center. Okay, we should set them in center. So I will close it and also I will close the terminal. Okay, now here I will change value of x-axis. Okay, so here this is our first or main frame. Okay, so here I will use self dot. Okay, self dot width. Okay, and I will divide it by 5. Okay, and then I will save it and then I will execute it. So now you can see its place was changed. Now we have to change the position of this second frame too. Okay, so I will close it and then now I will change value of this x-axis. So this was for our show frame. Okay, so here I will change the value, and here because I have to increase width, so here I will use 2. Okay, so I will save it and then I will execute it. Okay, now it is perfect. Okay, I think it is in center, but I can change the position of this first or menu frame, and I will uh, decrease padding in left side. Okay, so here I will close it and I will also close it, and here I will change value in our this main frame dot place method. Okay, so this was self dot width and multiplied by 5, and now we will decrease minus 50. Okay, minus 50, and I will save it and then I will execute it, and now you can see this is not perfect. Okay, so if you want to change more positions, then you can do it. Okay, so now this is I think center, and here this is our main frame, and this is our second or show frame where we have to show a list of all available cars. Okay, now I will click this close button and I will close the terminal. Okay, so next I have to create a list box. Okay, so here I will go to next line. Okay, and here I will use self dot list. Okay, and then I have to create new list box tk dot list box. Okay, and I have to create it in our self dot show frame. Okay, so it will be created in our show frame, and then I have to set background color by using bg property, and I will give value gray. Okay, and then I will set bd property and I will give value 4, and I will use relief property to set border style, and I will use sunken, and next I have to set width. Okay, I will use width property, and here I will give value 60. Okay, I mean it can contain 60 characters. Okay, in a line, and we can add total 50 lines. Okay, so here I will use height, and here I will use 50. Okay, so here you can see, sorry, here this is our list. Okay, and now you can see that I have used with property, and I have assigned 60 value. Okay, so it means that we can add 60 character in a line of this list. Okay, and then we can add total 50 lines. Okay, so next I have to use grid layout self dot list, okay, dot grid. Okay, now I have to set position, so I will create it in our first. I will use row, okay, I will create it in our second row, okay, and first column 1, and then I will use x-axis, or sorry, pad x, okay, and here I will give value 20, and I will use pad y, and I will give value 50, okay, and now I will save it, and then I will execute the project, okay. Now here you can see this is our list. I can increase width, okay, and I will decrease height. So here I will close the terminal, and here I will use here, I will set 30 lines, okay, 30 lines, and I will set width 62, okay, and then I will change padding. Here I will give value 10, okay, and I will save it, and then I will execute the project once again, and now still its height is very large, and I have to decrease it. I will close it first, okay, and this is height. I will give value 20, okay, and also I will increase width. I will give value 65. I will save it, and then I will execute it once again, and now uh, height is very small. I will increase some more lines, okay, so I will close it, and here I will add 3 with this 20, okay, so here I will add 23, okay. So now I am adding this in second row, because I have to set a label in first row, okay. So I will go to next line, and here I have to create a label, okay. So this is label 2, okay, or label, okay, pk dot label, okay. Now we have to create this label in our show frame, okay, self dot show frame, okay, and then we will set text by using text property. So I will set available cars, okay. So this is our label, available cars, and now I will change background color. So bg color I will give light gray, sorry, light gray, and then I will set font size or foreground, okay, fg property. So here I will set value red, okay, sorry, red, and then I have to use fonts property, and here first I will use Arial, that is font, sorry, family, and then I will set 25. This is font size, and it should bold. I will go to next line, and here this is layout dot, here I have to place it, or I can use grid layout, okay, grid. So I have to use grid layout, and now I will set it in our first row, okay, row 0, and column I will use second column, okay, and then I can set its padding, pad x 20, okay, and pad y 10. So now I will save it, okay, and then I will execute it, and in output you can see this is our title, available cars, okay, and next you can see this is our list box, and here we have to print a list of our cars, okay. So now we have to show all the cars, but first we have to get information of these cars from database. Okay, so now we have to define a function to create a connection with database. Okay, def db connect. Okay, db connection or db connect, and here I will use self, and then here I will use colon. Okay, so now I have to uh, create a link, but first uh, here I have to import py mysql. Okay, so here I will import py mysql. Okay, so if you have not installed mysql, then you should install mysql first. If you have no idea that how to install or set up this mysql, then I will provide link in description. You can see the video. It will be very helpful uh, in your setup. Okay, and after you have to run a command. Okay, here you can open new terminal and new terminal. Okay, and then here you have to run a command, that is pip. Okay, install my py mysql. Okay, and you will click enter, then py mysql will be installed with this uh, vs code. Okay, so I have installed it, that's why I have no any error. Okay, so this is py mysql. Now I can use this py mysql. Okay, so here I have to declare a variable self dot connection. Okay, or con self dot connection. Now we have to create a connection with database. Okay, so how can we connect with database? Py mysql dot connect. Now we have to connect with database, and here we have to provide some information about your database. First, host. Okay, so always host is local host if you have not changed it, and then user, and by default your user, sorry, I will close it, I will also close it, and by default your user is root. Okay, and then you have to provide password. Okay, and my password is admin, and then I have to provide name of database. Okay, database, and my database is rec. Okay, so you have to enter these informations. Okay, and then we have to create a cursor, self dot cursor, because we have to use this cursor and con variable out of this function. That's why I am using self with them. Okay, so this is cursor and self dot con. Okay, dot cursor. Here we have to access the cursor. So this function will be used to connect with database. Okay, now I will define another function. Okay, to retrieve data from database, and then we will insert that data in our this list box. Okay, so define def define. So here you can use any uh, function name. So this is retrieve. Okay, retrieve, and here I have to use self, and then I have to retrieve data from database. Okay, so here I will use this function name, that is self dot db connection. Okay, and then we will execute a query. Okay, self dot, now I have to use cursor name, that is cur self dot cursor dot execute. Now we have to call this execute method, and then we will execute query. Okay, select all from car. Okay, select all from car. So here I can also use where clause, where status is equal to So now we have to set status, that if status is aware, okay, sorry, status is aware. So in this way we will get all the cars those are available. Okay, so here you can see select all from car where status is equal to away. Okay, and now we have to print all these cars, but first we have to fetch uh, these information from database. Okay, so here I will fetch it in data variable. Okay, so here I have to use self dot cursor. Okay, self dot cursor dot fetch all. Okay, and then I have to insert all these values in our table. Okay, now I have to print all available cars in our list. Okay, so here I will use for loop for I in data. Okay, and then here we have to print all these cars. First I will use formatted string. Okay, str or line, you can use any variable name, and then here I have to use a pair of comma, and then we will use this column between the data. Okay, and then here I will use dot join method. Okay, so because we have to join data with this. Okay, and then here I will use map method. Okay, and here I will pass two arguments, str and I. Okay, so now we have to insert it in our list. Okay, self dot list dot insert. Okay, here we have to, sorry, this is list dot insert, and here we have to insert uh, after existing value tk dot end. So in this way we will get existing value. If any value exists, then we will print this value after that existing value. Okay, so here I will use line. Okay, now our function is completed. Now I have to call this function here after this list box. Okay, so I will go to next line, and here I will call the function that is self dot retrieve. Okay, so this function will be called. Okay, and now I will save it, and then I will execute the project, and here you can see that here all cars are available. So this is uh, car number 1234, and its company is Corolla. Per day rent is 2000, and this is available. Okay, so now I will close it. I want to change font color. Okay, so I will close it, and here I will use FG color. Okay, here I will use FG property, and I will use white. Okay, and here also I will use, sorry, I have to use pair of double comma. Okay, white, and then I have to use font property. So here I will use font, and then I have to set style. Okay, font and Arial font family, and I will set 20 size. Okay, or 15, and then I will set them bold. Okay, now I will save it, and then I will execute it, and now you can see this is our 1 2 3 4 car numbers, then cars, then per day rent, and their availability. Okay, but you can see that our this available cars label is out of frame. Now we have to set it. For this I will use column span. Okay, column span method, and I will span two columns, and I will save it, and then I will execute it once again, and now you can see uh, its size is large, but I will decrease the size of this list box. Okay, so I will close it. So now I have changed width and I have assigned 35 to width, okay, and 15 to height of this list box. Now let us see output. I will execute it, and here now you can see this is our output, and now it is perfect. Okay, so now we have to make functional this first button. Okay, reserve a car. So I will close it, and then I will close the terminal. Okay, and now I have to define another function. So here I will define a function after these existing functions. Okay, so here I will use define keyword. Okay, so now we have to reserve. Okay, reserve self. Okay, and now this is our function name. So now we have to get value from user. So for this we have to create new frame. Okay, so here I will create new frame self dot. So because we have to reserve, so this is reserve frame. Okay, and sorry, reserve frame tk dot frame, and we will create it in our root window. Okay, self dot root. Okay, so we are creating it in our root window, and I should uh, copy existing frame, and then I will paste that frame here. Okay, so here this is our show frame. I will copy this. Okay, and then I will paste it in our new function. So I will copy it, and now I will paste it right here. Okay, so after that I have to change the name. So this is our reserve frame. Okay, reserve frame, and it is also our reserve frame that will be created in our root window. Okay, so now background and other uh, properties with values will remain same. Okay, so now I will change background color only. Okay, so here I will use this was light gray, I will use sky blue. Okay, so this new frame will be created, and then we have to get some information from user. Okay, so for this we have to create some entry widgets, but first we have to set label. Okay, so here we will use label. So because we have to get registration number. Okay, so here I will use registration label. Okay, and then I will use tk dot label property. Okay, and it will be created in our self dot reserve frame. Okay, so this is our reserve frame, and then I have to uh, set its position. But first I will set text value by using text property. Okay, enter or registration only. Registration number or car number, you can use any string. Okay, car number, and we will get car number. But first I have to uh, change some values, or I have to use some properties. First I will use a background color. Okay, bg color, and here I will use sky blue, and then I will use foreground property, and here I will use foreground black. Okay, and then here I will use border, but I think I do not need for border. I will use font property, and here I will use tuple. Okay, I will use Arial. You can use different font style, and then I will use 15 and bold. Okay, and now I have to place it by using place method. Okay, registration lab, or even I can use a grid layout. Okay, dot grid, and here I will use column, but first row. Okay, row first, column first. Okay, and padding pad x 20, pad y 50. Okay, and this is our label. Now we have to get value from user. Okay, so here because we have to use it uh, anywhere in our project, that's why I will use self. Okay, self dot, here we have to get registration number. Okay, registration number, and this is self dot registration in. Okay, you can use any other name instead of registration in, and here I have to create tk dot entry. Okay, I have to create entry widget, and then it will be created in our reserve frame. Okay, self dot reserve frame, and then because it is entry field, that's why I can use bd property. So I will give value to only. Okay, and here I can use font property, and here I will use Arial. Okay, with value 15 or 10, you can enter any value. Okay, and then I will not set bold, and here I have to use its width. Okay, so I will set 20, and now I have to use grid layout. Okay, self dot registration in dot grid. Okay, and here I have to use row number. So row number will remain same, I mean first row, but column number will be changed. I will create it in our second column. Okay, and I will assign padding, pad x 20. Okay, and pad y, here I will give value 50. Okay, so now I have created this label and entry widget. Now here I will create another label. Okay, so this was registration label. Now we have to get total number of days, because user can reserve car for 3 days, 2 days, or only for 1 day. Okay, so here day label. Okay, tk dot label, and here I will copy all these values. Okay, and then here I will copy all these values, and then I will paste them right here. Okay, I will go to next line. This was day lab dot grid. Okay, here I will use grid layout, and now I have to set row number. Okay, so here I will use row, and I will assign 1, because we have to create this label in our second row. Okay, so row 1, column 0, first column of second row. Okay, and pad x 20, and pad y, sorry, pad y 50. Okay, so this is our label, and now we have to get day, total number of days. Okay, self dot day in. Okay, and then we will create tk dot entry. So here I will copy all this code. Okay, from this previous entry widget, and then I will paste it right here. Okay, so but here I have to change text value in our second label. Okay, enter days, enter days. Okay, so you have to change it, and then here this was our day in entry field, and here I have to set grid layout, self dot day in dot grid. Okay, and now I have to create it in our second row and second column. Next I will set pad x 20, and pad by 50. Okay, so uh, now this was our grid layout for day in. Okay, and now I have to set a button. Okay, OK button. So here I will create OK button. OK button, and here I will create a button by using tk dot button. So next I have to create this button in our first sorry, what is name of our frame, that is reserve frame. Okay, so here I have to use self dot reserve frame. Okay, and then I have to set text value. Okay, text is okay. I will use okay, and then next I have to change font style. Okay, font, here I will use Arial, and then I will set size 20. Okay, and then I will use width property, and I will set 20 width. Okay, and here I will set button background color by using bg property, and here I will give value gray or light gray. Okay, light gray, and I can also use bd property. Okay, I will use 2 only. Okay, so now I have to set grid layout. Okay, button dot grid. Okay, and next I have to set row number. So here I have to use third row, first column. Okay, first column, and then I have to use pad x. I will use 30. Okay, 30, and pad y 60. Okay, so in this way this button will be created. Now I have to get these entered values in variables. So first I will declare variable registration. Okay, and then I will use int method. Okay, because registration type is integer type, that's why I have to convert this entered value. Okay, and then I have to convert it, because this entry widget is string type. Okay, it returns us value in string, but we need in integer type. That's why we have to convert this value into int. So I am using int method, and now I have to get registration number from user that exists in our self dot registration in. Okay, and here I have used get and then parenthesis. So this is our registration in variable. Okay, self dot registration in. Okay, that is entry widget, and its type was string type. That's why we are converting it into integer, and then we are assigning it to this registration variable. Okay, now days, and here we have to get total number of days. Okay, so we have to convert it into integer. That's why I have to use int, and here I have to use day, sorry, self dot day in. Okay, and here I have used, you have to use dot get method. Okay, so in this way we are getting registration number and total number of days. Now we have to get some information about this car. For example, what is uh, position, I mean what is status, is this available or not, and then what is rent of this car. Okay, per day, and here I have to call this db connection method. Okay, self dot db connect. I have to call it because we have to connect with database. Okay, and then here I have to use a query, that is uh, first I have to use self dot cursor. Okay, self dot cursor dot execute. Here I have to use execute method, and now I have to use sorry, first here I have to use select. Okay, select, and here we have to execute a query. Okay, so first I will create an query. Okay, this is our query, and here I have to use query by using formatted string. Okay, select, we have to select position, and then we have to, sorry, status and rent. Okay, so here I will select rent column. Okay, and second status column. Okay, so here I am getting uh, the values from these two columns. First is rent and second is status from car. Okay, now I have to use where clause, where. So now we have to get registration number, where registration number is equal. So now we have to use this variable, that is registration, that contains user entered registration number. Okay, so now we are trying to say that select a rent column and status column from car table where registration number was this user entered registration. For example, user enters 1234. Then rent and status from these two columns will be selected, and then here we have to execute this query. Okay, and here we have to fetch this string. So here I will use uh, I will first declare a variable. Okay, so here I will use row. Okay, and then self dot cursor dot fetch one. Okay, because we have to fetch only one string. Okay, here we have to use if condition. Okay, if, so now we have to check status that exists in our second column. So here I will use a row, and here I will use 1. Okay, it means that second value, and here second value is status. Okay, so is equal equal. So here I have to use equal equal. So here I have to use avail. Okay, avail, and then here I have to use colon. So it means that car is available. Otherwise, we will use else. Okay, here else, and here I will use because this is else, and here I will use message box. Okay, tk dot message box. But first I have to import this message box from Tkinter. So here I have to use from Tkinter import message box. Okay, now we can use this message box. Okay, dot message box dot show error. Okay, so it will show us an error. So here this is title that will be printed in the top of our message box. Okay, and then we will print message that car is not available. Okay, so this message will print if status is not equal avail. Okay, and then here we have to change the status. So here we will use row 1. Okay, because we have to update the status, and here we will assign reserve. Okay, or I will use reserved. Okay, and sorry, here I have not to use this column. Sorry, I have to use column because this is if condition. So here we are updating this value, that first its status was avail. Now it should reserved. Okay, so first we have to update the column. Okay, that is status column. So here I will execute query self, but first I will use query 2. Okay, query 2, and here I will use formatted string. Okay, and I will use update car set. Now we have to change status column. Okay, set status, sorry, here we have to set status, and we will assign new value. Okay, set status, and here I have to use a pair of curly braces because we are using formatted string, and here I will use row 1. Okay, and now I have to use where clause, where now I have to use the same registration number. Okay, where registration number is equal, here I have to use registration variable. Okay, so in this way we are updating it. And next I have to set uh, commit method. Okay, so self dot con dot commit. Okay, so now we have used commit method. So next we have to calculate bill. Okay, so here we have to get total days. Okay, and then we have gotten this rent. Okay, so now we have to create a variable with name amount. Okay, and now we have to multiply days. Okay, with rent, and rent exists in our first index of row. Okay, row, and here I have to use first index, and in this way, for example, here user selects a car for 2 days and rent of that car was 2000, then total amount will be 4000, and then we have to print a bill. Okay, so here we will use tk dot, but first I should use formatted string. Okay, so this is bill, and here I have to use formatted string. Okay, and here I will print bill that amount, or so here we have to get car registration number. Okay, so here I have to use registration. Okay, variable that contains registration number for car registration number is, and here we have to print total bill. Okay, that exists in our amount variable. Okay, so next I have to use tk dot message box. Okay, message box dot show info. Now it will show information. Okay, here I will use success as a title, and then I will use bill. Okay, so in this way we will able to print a bill. So this is print bill, and then we have to close or destroy this frame. Okay, so this was reserve function, and here this was our reserve frame. Now we have to destroy this frame. Okay, so here I have to define function. Okay, close, this frame was our reserve frame. Okay, close reserve, and self as a parameter, and we have to destroy it. Self dot reserve frame. Okay, dot destroy. So we have to destroy it. I will make a gap, and now I will call this when OK button will be clicked. Okay, so we have to call this method here. Okay, so this was close, sorry, self dot close reserve. Okay, and also I will call it here. Okay, so if an error shows, then we have to call this function, that is self dot reserve frame. Okay, sorry, close reserve. Okay, close reserve. So we will call this method, and now we have to call this reserve function when our OK button will be clicked. Sorry, reserve button will be clicked So where is our reserve button? So here I will search our first reserve button. Okay, this is reserve button, and here I have to use command property. Okay, command property, and here I have to call the function that is self dot reserve. Okay, and here I will use comma. So this function will be called when we will click this button reserve core. Okay, when this reserve core button will be clicked, then this reserve function will be called, and we will enter registration number and total number of days. Okay, then we will click OK button, and when we will click OK button, then another function should call. So here I should define another function. Okay, we have to define only function name by using def keyword. Okay, so this is reserve function with self parameter. Okay, and we will call this function when this OK button will be clicked. Okay, so here I will call this function by using command property. Okay, command self dot reserve function. Okay, so this is our reserve function. So now when our OK button in our this reserve frame will be clicked after entering these two values, first registration number and second total days. Okay, so and then we will click this OK button, and this function will be called. Okay, that will select rank and status column from this specific registration number, and then we will execute a query, another query. Here we are checking condition that if the car is available, then we will provide car and we will print bill. Okay, and otherwise if it is not available, then we will print this message that car is not available. Okay, and then we will destroy our this frame. Okay, so here I will save it, and then I will execute it. So now here you can see this is a reserve core button, and here we are facing a problem because our label is in the center of this frame and our input fields are out of the frame. So this is because of a large size of this OK button. So we can adjust it. Okay, so how can we adjust it? Where is OK button, and here we have to use column span. Okay, column span, and we will merge two columns. I will save it, and then I will execute it. So after a small while, this is our output. I will click OK. Now here you can see this is car number. Here we have to enter car number, and these are total number of days, and here uh, we will click OK button. So I will click car number. So I will enter 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and total number of days 2. I will click OK. But I think we have some problem. What is problem? Row 1 reserved. So we were trying to update this index number, but it does not accept it. So here we can apply another method. Okay, I will remove it from here, and then here I will use, so I will also remove it from here. Okay, and here I will use uh, this name directly, that is reserved. Okay, now I will save it, and now I will try to execute it once again. Okay, first I will close this previous output, and now I will execute it once again, and here I will try to reserve a car. So here I will enter 1, 2, 3, 4, and for 2 days I will click OK. So amount for 1, 2, 3, 4 is 4,000. Okay, So I will click OK. Now you can see this was our car, that is Corolla, and here its value, sorry, its rent per day is 2000, and we were hiring it for 2 days, so total amount was 4000. Okay, so now we have to update this status. It is available, we have to change it. Okay, so I will close it, and also I will close it. Okay, so now I have to update it. So how can we update it? Here, okay, after printing a bill, so now I have to insert new values, okay, in our uh, this list box. So first I have to execute one more query. Okay, so this query, or I can use directly execute method. Okay, self dot cursor dot execute. Okay, and here I will execute query that select, okay, all from car. Okay, so here we are selecting all values from car, and then we have to fetch. Okay, here I will use data or values. Okay, and then I will assign or get value by using self dot cursor dot fetch all. Okay, and then I have to insert all these values in our list box, but first we have to remove previous values. So here I will use self dot list, okay, dot delete. Okay, so we have to delete from 0 index to end. Tk dot end. Okay, and then we will insert new values. Okay, so new values, and here we have to use uh, this pair of comma and then colon, and here we have to use join method. Sorry, first I have to use for loop. Okay, so first I will use for loop. Okay, for, and here I will, sorry, I will use j in, so values. Okay, and then here I have to insert these values in our list box. Okay, new val, and here I will use pair of comma, and then I will use dot join. Okay, and then I will use map method, and then str string and j. Okay, so in this way we will able to insert these values in our uh, this list box. Okay, and now we have to insert these values. Self dot list, okay, dot insert, and we will insert new values tk dot end. Okay, and then new val. So now I will save it, and then I will close it, sorry, execute it, and after a small while this is our output, and I will reserve a car, and here I will enter 1 2 3 4, and then I will uh, enter this 2, and then I will click OK. But I think this car will not be reserved because its status was reserved. Okay, I will click OK, but this is reserved successfully. Amount for 1 2 3 4 is 4000. I will click OK. So still it is available. Here we should use try and catch block. Okay, so I will select all this code. Okay, sorry, I will select this code, and then I will use try block. Okay, so I will select it, and then I will use one tab, and here I will use try block. Okay, so this is try. Okay, and here I will use accept. So if we have any problem, then we have to catch the problem in our accept method. Okay, so try and accept. Okay, so accept exception as e. Okay, and we will print message if we have any problem in our database. Okay, so here tk dot message box dot show error, and here I will set title error, and here I have to print e. Okay, e, or I can say that by using formatted string that db error. Okay, I mean database error, and here I will print error. Okay, so now I will save it, and then I will execute it, and now I will reserve a car once again, and here I will enter 1 2 3 4, and then I will enter days 2. I will click OK, and I will click OK once again. Sorry, I have made a mistake. Okay, so we have to set it. Here we were creating a formatted string, but we were not using execute method. Okay, so here we have to use self. Okay, dot cursor. So this is our reserve function where we were trying to update the status column. Okay, here we were creating formatted string, but we were not executing it by using cursor. Okay, so self dot cursor dot execute, and here I have to use query 2. Okay, because it is our second query 2. Okay, so now we are trying to commit it, and then here when we are selecting all from cars, so here we have to set a condition that where status. Okay, status, sorry, is equal. Now we have to set status that avail. Okay, and then we will insert all these cars in our list. So I will save it, and then I will execute my project once again, and now you can see these are our available cars. So we will select this first one. Okay, so reserve car, here I will enter 1 2 3 4. Okay, and we will select 2 days, and we will click OK. So amount for 1 2 3 4, this is registration number is 4000. I will click OK. Now here you can see this first car is removed from this list because now this is unavailable. Okay, that's why here we can see only 3 cars. So these cars are without registration number 1 2 3 4. Okay, so what will happen if we will try to reserve the same car that was reserved? Okay, 3. Okay, and car is not available. You can see this is car is not available because this car was reserved. Okay, and when we clicked okay, then our frame was destroyed, and this is our uh, first or show frame cars. Okay, so now we can reserve one more car. So I will click reserve, and here I will enter 2 3 4 5, and I have to reserve it for 3 days. I will click OK. So amount for 2 3 4 5 is 9000. I will click OK. So now our second car is also removed from here. Okay, so now when a user uses a car and then he wants to return car to company, then he will click return car button. Okay, and then when this car is returned, then we will add that car in this list box. Okay, so I will close it, and also I will close it, and then I will uh, define another function. Okay, here I will use def keyword. So this is return. Okay, a return function, and here I will use self. Okay, and then here I have to get registration number. Okay, so but first I have to create a frame. Okay, so I have a frame. Here you can see we have this uh, frame. I will copy this. Okay, I will copy this, and then I will paste it. Okay, so I will paste it in our new created function. Okay, so now I have to set the correct place. So this was a reserve frame. So this is return frame. Okay, return frame. This is return frame that will be created in our root. Okay, and other specifications will remain same. Okay, I mean its background color is sky blue. These are properties for border, and then it is its width and its position of appearing. Okay, and then we have to get uh, registration number. Okay, so here we have to copy existing code. So here we have created a label and entry widget. Okay, sorry, this is a day widget. Here we have to get registration number. Okay, I will copy it, and then I will paste it right here. Okay, and then this label and entry widget is created successfully. This is our label, but now we have to create this label in our return frame. Okay, self dot return, and this is also self dot return. Okay, so this is our label that if user wants to return car, then he will enter registration number. Okay, and then we will get registration number in this entry widget. Okay, and now we have to define OK button. So we have done this before, so I will copy this OK button, and then I will paste it right here. Okay, so I have pasted it, and this is our OK button. So I will create it in our return function, sorry, return frame. Okay, but I have to change the place, but I think it is enough, and other all things will remain same. Okay, now just I have to define another function that will be called when our this OK button will be clicked. Okay, define. Okay, so this is return. Okay, return function and self. You can use any other name for this function. So now we have to uh, get this registration number. So here I am getting, but sorry, here I have to change name of this variable registration in 2, and this is also registration in 2. Okay, because registration in exists here. Okay, here, but now I have to define another variable. That's why I have to change name. So next I have to get value from this entry widget. So here I will get registration number, registration, and I have to convert it into integer, and I will get by using self dot registration in 2 dot get. Dot get is used to get value from entry widget. Okay, so here we are getting, and then we have to update uh, database. Okay, and column status column in our database. So here I have to call connection self dot db connection. Okay, so I will call this function, sorry, and next, so here I have to update column. Okay, so here I will use column name, but first I will use query. Okay, query, and here I will use formatted string. Okay, so here I will use update. Okay, update car, this is query, update car, and set status. Okay, so we have to uh, change status, and we will set avail once again. Okay, so set status avail where registration number, sorry, number is equal to user entered registration number. Okay, so I have to execute this query. So here I will use self dot cursor dot execute. Okay, and I will use query execute, I will use query. Okay, and then I have to commit it self dot con dot commit. Okay, and then, so now our status column in our car table is updated once again, and now this car is available. Okay, so we will select all the cars. So here I will use self dot cursor dot execute. Okay, and then I will execute select, sorry, I have to use pair of double comma, select all from car where status is equal, here I have to use equal avail. Okay, and then we will fetch data. So here I will create a variable, and then we will fetch all rows. Okay, so here self dot cursor dot fetch all. Okay, and now I have to use for loop, but first I have to delete existing information in our list box. Okay, self dot list dot delete. Okay, and we will delete from first index to last, tk dot end. Okay, and now we will use for loop for here I will use I, for I will insert data in I. Okay, sorry, here I have to use in data. So in this way, all number of rows, for example, 3 rows exist in our data variable, then all these three, or this three value will be assigned to this I variable. Okay, and then here we have to use string once again. Okay, so new val, so this is again new val, and here I have to use colon, and then I will use join method. Okay, and then map, because we have to map it string and I. Okay, sorry, I, and now I have to insert it in our list box. Okay, so here I will use self dot list dot insert. Okay, so we will insert after existing value, tk dot end. Okay, we will get last position, and then we will insert value. Okay, so this is new val. Next I will print message but out of the for loop. Okay, self dot tk, sorry, self not self, tk dot message, sorry, message box dot show, and here we have to show info. Okay, so here we will print message that car, this is title. Okay, success, and we will print message that car returned successfully. Okay, car returned successfully. Okay, and then, so here we were making a mistake. So when here we have select this, then we should close our cursor. Okay, so here I will close the connection. It is our responsibility that we should close connection and cursor. Okay, so here I will close self dot cursor dot close. Okay, and then I will close the connection self dot connection dot close. Okay, so I should use this method here too. Okay, so where was our previous things? So here I will use it. Okay, I will use it right here. Okay, so in this way we will close our cursor and connection. Okay, so this is all about it. Now we have to destroy this frame. Okay, so frame was return frame. Now we have to close this return frame. Okay, for this I have to define another method. Okay, close return. Okay, self, and here I will use colon, and here I will use self dot this was return frame dot destroy. Okay, we have to destroy it, so I will call the function here. Okay, so here I will call the function that is self dot close return. Okay, so here I will call it, and then this method is completed. Now only we have to call this return function here. Okay, so this is return function. Okay, and then we have to call this return function. Okay, here we have mistake, no mistake, we have to call this function on this button. Where is our return button? So here we can see return button, sorry, this is return button. Here I will use command property. Okay, command property, and here I have to call method self dot return function. Okay, this is return function. Now I will save it, and then I will execute my project, and then we will able to test it. Okay, so now we have only two cars, and then we have to return a car. Okay, here we have to enter car number. I will enter 1 2 3 4, and I will click OK, but I think we have any error. So what is error? So here we have a database error. So we have a problem in our query. So let us see what is problem. So here this is our first query. Update car set status avail where registration. I think this is correct. And then here yes, we have problem. Here we are not using this closing comma. Okay, So now I will save it once again, but first I will close previous output and then I will save it, and now I will execute it. Okay, so car was returned, but we were facing an error. Okay, so here this is 1 2 3 4. Okay, so car was returned successfully. Okay, so here I will return second car. So return car, here I will enter 2 3 4 5 and I will click OK. Car returned successfully, and here you can see now there are total cars available. Okay, so you can select one more car to reserve car, and you can then return car. Okay, so um, we can test it completely. So this is reserve car method, sorry, button, and here I will enter car 2 3 4 5. Okay, for 3 days I will click OK, and amount for 2 3 4 5 is 9,000. I will click OK, and our frame was closed, and now we have only three cars, those are available. Now we can return this car. Okay, and we will enter 2 3 4 5, and I will click OK. So car returned successfully. I will click OK. Now here you can see all the four cars are available. Okay, so now if we have to close this user interface window, then we will click this close window method. Okay, so this was all about car rental management system using Python Tkinter, and we have used MySQL database. I hope this video will be very helpful and easy to understand for you. If you have liked the video, then please share with your friends, and if you have not subscribed our YouTube channel, then please subscribe our YouTube channel right now. Thank you.